007, turn right, heading 185, reduce speed 180 knots.
185 on the heading, 180 on the speed Gulf Air 007.
Speedbird 124, reduce speed 160 knots to 40 me.
Reduce 160 to 4, speed 124.
Hi there guys, Matt here, hope you're all well and welcome back to another P3D video. And something a little bit different today. I'm actually flying with friends as opposed to just on my own. We're on the ground here at Hamburg and we're going to fly down to Dusseldorf in the Majestic Q400-8 or -8 Q400. Don't know which way around that's meant to actually go. So yeah, the guy that you just see here in front of me, well, in front of the camera off to my immediate right, is a guy called, well, I can't pronounce his name. It's like Ole or Ula or something like that. He's German, but he uses the nickname of Sharklet. And we're going to be flying back down to Dusseldorf with him and also with Nathan, who is just taxiing in at the moment, trying to find a parking stand. They just finished the outbound. They just flew from Dusseldorf to Hamburg, so now I'm joining them for the return. I got a new microphone. I don't know if you can tell, but that came just yesterday afternoon, so I spent some time setting that up and tweaking it. Hopefully it sounds better than my original one, although I thought my original one was better. But now I have an actual, it's called a shotgun microphone, so it positions itself directly in front of me, and I don't wear it on a headset, for example. It's just kind of, it's a Rode thing. It's nice. It's okay. So let's hope that that makes some sort of difference. Anyway, Aerosoft, Hamburg scenery, German airports, and we'll have Mega Airport Dusseldorf when we land into Dusseldorf. Anyway, I've loaded everything for the flight, passengers, weight, fuel, etc. And we'll be getting underway in just a moment. I'm going to be Skyping with the two guys that I fly with at the same time, so you'll hear them at some point during the flight. So that is that. Can't get GSX to work, I'm afraid, because the engines are windmilling and it doesn't like it. But we have real world weather, active sky next, etc., etc. And that really is about it. So yeah, let's get this show on the road. Okay, so I set everything up. I'm actually using the non-beta version of the -8, just the original pilot version, because there is a problem with the beta version and P3D 2.5 with some sort of sound issue. So they fixed that on the pilot version, but haven't quite fixed it with the beta version yet. So I am using the just a pilot version. So everything that I have, you will also have, which means I guess there will be no questions about, oh, why do you have this? Why do you have that? That should not be the case today. Fingers crossed. I can't remember the last time I flew the Dash. It's been a while, so I'm actually using the Airline to Sim checklist, which is something that I recommend everyone does because they pretty much cover every single point that needs to be covered. And yeah, so we're just going to run through those items. I've already done about halfway through the pre-flight checklist, and you can hear the cabin announcements going off in the background, so that's always a good start. But yeah, we turned all the batteries on, we've got the APU up and running, we've got the bleeds off at the moment, and we were as far as looking at the engine intake doors, which are over here, and they're closed and green. So we'll work down from that. So after that, the bleeder is at the moment turned off. It's just up the top here. And the APU bleed at the moment is on in the middle here. The recirc fan we can turn on. You'll hear it. The kind of audible whine will change. Pressurization's fine. Packs are on auto. Emergency lights are armed. It's a 3-state switch, so it should be in the middle, which it is there. The fuel transfer switch should be off, which is this one in the middle here, and the quantity is checked. So we've got 895 in the left and 900 in the right. That's already been loaded. The parking brake is set and pressures are good, and of course we need to make sure that the power levers are at idle, and the prop levers actually should be fuel off. And the parking brake should be on, which it's not, so there we go. That's what happens when you don't have panel states. I'm used to having panel states in the -8, so there we go. The nose steering as well needs to be off, which is over here, so there you go, that is off. I bound the tiller to my joystick, so that should work. Yes, it does, there we go. and next is the FMSs, so we can actually we can get on with doing the FMSs. So as I said, we're on the ground at Hamburg, and we are out via runway 33 apparently. So we'll go to flight plan and then type EDDH and accept that. From that we'll menu and depart runway 33, which is number 4, and then we're departing via the VATSIM 9 Golf apparently, which is number 2, and then we can go to here, we can delete that, and then we can just make sure there's no other discrepancy, which there isn't. And then from VATSIM we are taking the Mike 170, which is number 1, and that's as far as Hotel Mike, which is number 4. And then after number 4, so from Hotel Mike, it's the Tango 851, which is number 5. And then that's as far as Zamod, which is number 1, and then it's the arrival into Dusseldorf, so we can stick that in. We can actually put the arrival in, I suppose. So the arrival for Dusseldorf will be, we departed 23 left, so maybe we should land on the same one we departed. I'll stick it in as 23 left initially. It may be wrong. It's a Zamog 2 Golf, I know that much. So we'll go next, and number 16 is in there. Runway 23 left is set, and of course it's the ILS, which is number 2. And the transition I have zero idea about, but I guess it's number 7 because that's the one for that runway. So we'll go into that, we'll make sure that all links up, which it does. There's an issue from there, so we'll delete that. And then everything else should be good, which it is. Yeah, that's a missed approach, so there's no problem there. We'll check the message page, that's fine. And then we can go to the fuel page. Now, I need to ask Sharklad on Skype if he has his weights done in the FMS, because I'm going to copy them because I'm incredibly lazy. So hang on a second. Sharklad?
Yes.
Have you done your FMS fuel page?
Yes.
Can I have the weights?
Yes.
Yay.
0 fuel, 24528.
24528. Yeah.
Fuel on board 900 and 900.
900. Yeah.
Alternate 396.
396. Yeah.
And hold 462.
46. Is that like a standard figure, 462?
No, it's always on the flight plan, the final reserve.
Alright, fair enough.
For this one is 462, for the other one it was, I think, 459, so...
What was our landing runway?
23 right.
No, I put 23 left in, right? Can we not land on 23 right, left? Can we not do like a parallel approach? I know we're in Europe.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
The runway is too close for that, but you can actually land on 23 left if you want. Makes no difference.
Yeah, I think I'm going to land on 23 left for the sake of not making myself look like a noob on my video.
Yeah.
Although everyone's just heard that now, so it's fine. Okay, so that's all done. We can cross-fill that now. So accept this one and cross-fill the flight plan and also the fuel, and then we can go direct to number 1 just to make sure that clears any discrepancies out with the FMS. And then we could do the same here as well, direct number 1, and done. Okay, have some speeds for us. Well, first of all, we'll set the MDA. We'll get rid of the decision height, and then we'll set the MDA, which is 1k above, so we're looking at 1060, which is scroll. There it is. And then speeds for us. So VR with our current weight is 126. And then V1 126 even. VR is 126 as well. V2 is coming in at 130. And then V-Fly, which is flat retraction indication speed, is 141 knots, and then V-Climb is 153. And that's what we're going to aim for. Done. Okay, so that actually was considerably less lengthy than I assumed it would be. We'll set up the other pilot, so we're blasting off runway 33, which is ironically 330. And we are climbing to flight level 200, which is our final level. I'm not going to bother with the initial altitude because there's no ATC, even though we are on VATSIM. Nav source on the left to FMS1, and on the right we can stick it to... I'm not sure. I mean, we could probably do FMS2 because the FMS2 is the same as FMS1, so... that is done. Anything else we can do? No, I guess we can go back to the checklist. So we can make sure everything's done over there, which it is. We can probably tune VATSIM 122.8 on the radio stack. 122.8, which is set and transferred. And that's done. Okay. We can set some rudder trim, actually. Someone said that... Actually, it was Shark that said if I set the rudder trim to the right, it will counteract the... I can't remember the technical term for it. Some sort of torque when you put the power in. So, or P factor, I think he said it was called. Yeah, P factor sounds about right. Okay, so that's done. So, the great thing about where we're parked is literally we can taxi just off the stand and then to the right. And... runway 33 is there somewhere. Actually, where is runway 33? I don't even know where 33 is. 33. Yeah, I don't even know where 33 is. It's back that way, is it? Oh yeah, it's this way. So we've gone... I'm so stupid because we landed on 23, which is a cross runway there. So we'd be going out and then left and then left again and then up that way somewhere. Okay, that's the plan. I'll ask them anyway when we get to that point, so just in case I end up going to the wrong place. Okay, so I can do the starter checklist right now, which is relatively simple. So first things first, we'll turn the fasten seatbelt signs on. We will turn the beacon light on. We will anti-skid on, which is there. And then we will set the trim, which is set now. We already did the rudder trim, but we'll do the elevator trim. The passenger signs, as we just did, are on. The cabin report will pretend is received. The flight deck door isn't modelled, so we'll say it's locked. Anti-calls on. APU bleed is coming off, like so. It will get very quiet. And the battery master is set on. And the voltages down here are checked just there. Very good. Okay, we can start the engine. So it's or engines, should I say. Relatively simple. You've seen me do this a million times. Engine ignition to normal on both sides. We start number 2 first and press the button. And then we wait. And you can see number 2 is starting to come online. So we'll drag the condition lever to start and feather. And then if we look out the window, you'll be able to see the prop turning. Look at the shadows. That looks so cool in P3D. I guess you could probably get that in FSX with DirectX 10, but I wouldn't bet on it that much. So engine number 2 is spooling up. You can hear the woman doing the safety thing, whatever she does. I really need to replace that with some legit safety video. That would sound pretty cool, actually. So there's number 2 online. Hamburg's a little bit laggy, isn't it? Maybe it's just because it's not a P3D native. Anyway, 2 is on, so we can flick it to 1, and we can fire 1 online as well. And we'll bring the condition levers to start and feather also. And we can also take a look out the left window and see if we can see number 1 firing. Is that an Emirates in the distance? Wow, that's random. Is that a 380? Let me see that winglet. No, it's not a 380, it's a 330. Fair enough. I don't know why there's an Emirates there. It's pretty weird. Okay, so engine number 1's online. Very good. Just wait for that to stabilize. Prop RPM's good, 210. ITT is about to stabilize. And we can now run through the after start checklist. So first of all, I'm going to whack the condition levers up to max. We'll hear them start to scream into effect. And then we'll go through the after start stuff. So the external power is off. The main bus tie is set to off. Electrical panels are all good, all checked, everything's on. Condition levers max. Auto feather needs to be selected, which is all the way down here. Fuel pumps need to come on, which they are now. And the hydraulics also can come on. The flaps can come down to 5. And the rudder we need to check it's actually working, so I'll do that just now. So rudder travel is full left, which it is, and full right. No steering can come back on, which is over here, there. And the bleeds need to come on, which is up here. And they need to go to minimum. And then once we've done that, the ice pressure we don't need, ice protection is fine, transponder's fine, and we can ditch the APU. We don't need that anymore. We can also turn on the pitot-static stuff and the window heats as well, should we require it. And look at this massive noob! I forgot to close the door. As if I didn't realise that. That was my fault. I should have checked the door page on the right hand side here. Okay, that's done. Everything's set apart from the parking brake. We are ready for the taxi checklist, which is brakes are checked, takeoff warning. Well, we can't do that until the parking brakes are released, so let me set idle power so we don't roll. About there. Release the brakes, like so. And then we'll hit the takeoff test there, which is there. We'll hold it, everything is good. Takeoff power is set to NTOP. Flight instruments, well, we can check that now. Everything is set, so heading, altitude, nav source, etc. is good. The yaw damper needs to come on, which is there. And the cabin clear, received, we'll pretend that's done. And the taxi checklist is complete. So, on with the taxi lights. And I will follow Sharklet. So, where's he gone? He's up that way. There we go. So we're going to go forward. And then to the left. So we'll start to roll forward now. And then we're literally just going to spin it onto this taxiway. There we go. Some sort of like sandstorm. Can you see that wave of texture? It's really weird. There we go. Now, when we taxi, if we make sure if we need to brake that we use the propellers into beta range to slow down, as opposed to trying to use the brakes. That's something that I've been told to do. So the next thing for us is the before takeoff checklist, which is relatively simple. It's like 4 items and that's that. So the before takeoff checklist is anti-collision light. We can set to white, which is the bottom one here. Landing lights can come on. Pitot, static and isolation valves we already turned on. Bleeds are on and minimum. And the go round heading alt select is sorted, and the way you can do that is just to press that right there, and then we can go alt and alt select. Okay, done. We are ready to depart after the company -8 does one. So just turn the transponder on, and we can also start the clock. So the clock can start on both sides, and the transponder can go to on out. We can also get some TCAS on the screen. And we could probably actually go into nav at this point. Yeah, nav is fine. Is he gone already? Yeah, he's miles away. There we go. Okay, gust lock out. Let's do this. Now the spoilers, I was always taught to put them into flight straight away, but apparently you don't need to do that, because as soon as you activate power, they'll do it themselves. So just leave it. But I mean, I could do. Why not? It makes no difference to me as long as they work. Now I can put the other ND onto nav, so our virtual first officer can see where we're going as well. And we are pretty much ready to go. Just wait for Sharklet to clear. I don't know where he went. Can anyone see him? I have no idea. Oh, there he is. Just a tiny speckle in the distance. Okay, I'm happy with that, so I think we should get going. So the way I take off a dash is probably incorrect, but it works for me. Just push the power in until auto feather is selected. And then it should. There you go, auto feather's on now. Massive kick with the rudder. There we go. And we are accelerating quite nicely. Bit of a crosswind. There's just past 80 knots. There's 100. There's V1 and rotate. Positive rate of climb. There's the gear. Look at that wind. Very nice. Bit of trim to counteract that. And LNAV is working perfectly. Okay, now we're positive rate IAS mode, and we'll keep that at, we'll do V climb, so we'll do 150, or 153 it was, 153, there we go. Drop the nose a little bit, and now comes the monumental mess up if I do this wrong, so I need to do this, Liz. Condition levers won't idle, so I'm going to do it by hand. There we go, 900, props 900, we're in a climb of some sort. Just drop the nose a little bit, and we'll fly the departure. Looks pretty nice out, doesn't it? Stick the autopilot in, and let that fly for us while we do the after takeoff checklist. Flaps can come up, which they're up, and the bleeds can go back to normal now. And climb power is set. That is the after takeoff checklist completed. We can set standard pressure, and then we should start to turn to the left. Okay, so now we've cleaned up, we're past transition altitude, we can start to increase the speed. So we'll speed select, we'll do 185 knots I think, and we'll climb at that. We'll sync the heading too, so about 268, and everything will climb itself away. Very good. So climb checklist for us. Altimeters are set now 1013 standard. Ice protection not required. Pressurization is all set. And the standby hydraulics PTU can come off. Fuel pumps also can come off. And the auto feather we don't need anymore. That's the climb checklist completed. Okay, so we have to program some sort of descent in at some point, so I figured we'd do that just now. We're just approaching the top of Hotel Mike. I don't know what the actual name of that VOR is, but we should be Zamod at 14k, so we can go on to VNav, and then we can go to, from present position, to Zamod number 4, and that's at 14k, 1800 feet a minute, it's good for us. And we can enter that in, which means top of descent is in 25 miles. Excelente. We don't need VNav at the moment, we can just continue with our current altitude and LNAV. You can see on the weather radar here that over Zamod and then into Dusseldorf there's some pretty nasty weather. But what I want to do essentially is go from Zamod and then turn left and then just intercept the ILS from there instead of going like all the way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go after Zamod. I'm going to go to, let's see, if I delete that and then delete that and then Zamod, I need to go direct to Zamod because it's like broken itself, so number 8. I'll bring all the legs back, there we go. And then we want to go to DL450, so flight plan, find Zamod, so we want to delete everything above DL450, so 430, previous 426 and 422. So then we can go back direct to Zamod, which is number 8, like so, and then that's that. So we actually probably need to start descending quite quickly. Top of descent is approaching us very, very fast. 2.4 miles till top of descent, yeah, exactly. So we can reset altitude down to 14k, and we can press VNav, and that'll capture VNav. We'll also start to reduce the power now. Do about 30% torque will be okay, I would imagine. 14k with an out select just in case we go underneath it. VNav path is captured, and down we go. So let me see where Sharklet is. Hang on. Yo, Sharklet, where are you?
In Mount Zamod, 5D.
Yeah, I'm going to go Zamod, and then I'm going to turn left and just go to DL450 instead of going, because it's just a useless S-bend that we really don't need.
Yeah, you could practically, after Zamod you can directly go to the, like, what's the, for me it's rec now.
Yeah, like towards the center fix.
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is though, because Zamod, it profiled me at Zamod at 14k, if I go direct to the center fix after Zamod, I will probably be a bit too high. So I'm going to go left and drop a bit more altitude.
Yeah.
I'm going to ditch the VNav profile actually, I think. Cause,
Yeah, you can practically go flight idle and then VS minus 3000. Shouldn't speed up. Or
yeah.
only a little bit.
I'm sure the passengers will love that.
Yeah.
Right, so everything's put in as far as the speeds go. 130 is going to be the approach speed. We're just approaching the top of Zamod now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to profile it down to 3k, which is there with alt select still in. And then I'm going to go to IAS mode instead of VNav, and then hopefully with the reduction in power to idle, which is there, we will essentially drop out of the sky, and then I'm going to go direct to Metma, which is 13, like so, and that's 22 miles away. Okay. Landing flap is 15, and we are about to go through and grab some descent checklist. So pressurization is set, GPWS flap is set to 15, and that is it. Done. So we should be able to drop out the sky and head straight towards the ILS, which is nice. What we will do then actually instead, look at that scenery, it looks so nice. What we will do instead is let's see. We could probably just tune the approach now, as long as I put it into heading select. If I stick it into heading select now, there's no issue. So we'll do 205 on the heading, go into heading, there we go, and then tune approach, and done. So now if I go to nav source, ILS 1, and then just make sure the course is 233, 233, there we go, done. Now we actually have an ILS, which is good. What else is there to do? Not much really, just descend and watch everything unfold. I feel like we're going to the left a little bit. Maybe we need a bit more right rudder trim, or maybe we need left rudder trim, hang on. Yeah, it's left rudder trim we need, there we go. It's cool, sorted. Plummeting down through 115 for 3,000 feet. Set the QNH to 1020. Make sure that's set on both sides. Oh, it's already linked, my bad. We'll set that standby to 1020 as well. There we go. Done. Approaching 10k, so the lights can come on. Approaching 7 miles to go until Metma. I still can't get over how nice the scenery looks, especially with the shadows. So damn cool. And then from Metma we should be able to get the localizer, which is funny because I almost just went over speed. So let's start dipping that speed down. We'll do 240. Too busy looking outside. Front that torque down to 6. We can get it to 6. There we go. And we'll keep the speed coming down actually. Come on, pitch the nose up, you can do it. Good stuff. Okay, there's the airfield and we are incredibly high. But, do not fear, the Dash 8 is exceptionally good at descending. Exceptionally good at descending. Just need to get it to a place where we don't require much in the way of restrictions on flaps. You can see we'll be landing on the left side there. Bring that all the way in. But honestly, right now, I'm not scared at all. What I am going to do though is press reduced NP, which should do that, and then whack the conditions all the way to the top, which is now reduced NP landing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the gear, and then I'm going to spin the heading this way. And this is where I either make a complete mess of it or I win. One or the other. 2,000 feet a minute descent rate, looking good. Keep that going down. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out the autopilot, which is there, and I'm going to use the descent rate to my advantage, because what we can do is we can drop it down without going into beta. That would be pretty useful. There we go. We can drop it down pretty quickly, and then once we've traded that speed for altitude, we can just pull it back again, and then there's no problem. So the gear's going down, that's what we want. Come on, missed approach altitude is fine. It's 3,000 feet should we need it. Come back into the middle. So we'll line it with the runway now. Not ideal, but it's fine. I'm going to hide the flight director and all of the FMAs. And then the idea is to dip below the glide. And then once we dip below the glide, you can see here the Sharklet on the parallel runway. Yo, Sharklet, I'm literally to your left by about half a mile, landing on 23 left.
I can actually see you.
Yeah, I came in far too high, but you know, because you can pretty much fly the dash like a Ferrari.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna dip it below the glider, then trade that off for speed, like right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold short of your runway after vacating.
There's flat 5, flat 10, flat 15. Ah, that's so beautiful. I've nailed it. Can you see me off your left?
Yeah.
I just zoomed past you. Why does it have 2 sets of PAPI lights? That's really weird. Are we parking on the end, like where we went off from before?
Yeah, I would suggest so.
Nice.
Sync rate.
Okay, here we go.
Sync rate.
Go the sync rate, there's no problem.
Light slow.
Speed's good. Altitude's got a bit of power just for the flare, so we don't sink.
30.
Bit of rudder as well to counteract
20.
that. Wow, okay, that's interesting wind. Can we get down?
10.
Please. You can do it, Dash. Honestly, you can do it. It's not as if I've got to land long anyway to park at the end. There we go. And beta. There we go. That was a long, long landing. Brakes coming in. 60. It's 50. Bring gust lock in. There we go. And that actually worked out considerably better than I thought it would. Considering I thought we were going to overshoot at one point. There we go. That was some insane dash flying, if I do say so myself. And we're off. Taxi lights off. And strobe lights are off. Right, I can't remember where we parked before. I think it was... I'm not sure actually. It was around here somewhere. Flaps can come up. Condition can go back to 850 for now, we don't need them. I think it was actually over there we parked, so we have to kind of go left and then right again. Turn the transponder off. Go left here. A 777 over there. Oh yeah, that's nice. 777 over there. I wonder where Sharklet is. Probably didn't use the whole runway because he actually knows what he's doing and I don't, so here we go, and then we're going to go right here and then park up. Probably turn the APU on. I know you can do one engine taxis and all that stuff. I completely overshot that turn. I want to go to Victor 84, which is where I came out of before. And I didn't put the bleeds to minimum either, whoops. Before comments about bleeds. Victor is 84. There is this next one. Here we are. The pounds to get around the corner. There we go. Victor 84. Oh, and here's Sharklet just behind me. Very nice. And brakes set. Very good. Okay, now we can go for the shutdown checklist, I guess, in a second. But first, I need to get rid of the engine, so what we can do is move them to start and feather. Here we go. And turn the beacon light off, taxi light off. APU's on, bleed air we can bring on. We can turn off the normal bleeds. Whoops, go off please, thank you. And once they've had a chance to spool down a little bit, which they have, you can see them just there. And we can say goodbye to the engines. And we can also open the door. There we go. Opening a pop-out by accident, that was interesting. What have we missed? Put that back to tyres, boys. Come on. A lot of beeping going on, but that's fine. So, there you have it. We're safely, just about, back into Dusseldorf. Yeah, that approach and that landing was a little bit odd, but, you know, I've seen them do weirder things in Norway. The Dash is one of those planes that you can kind of throw about. It's a bit robust. I guess in a commercial environment, i.e. Dusseldorf, what I just did would not have been allowed. But considering there was only me and Sharklet around, there's really no... Well, I mean, there's not really much of an issue. Not sure where that 777's going now. I probably should find out. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. A bit different. And I hope you enjoy the new microphone. Fingers crossed it's actually any good. And until the next time, I shall talk to you all soon. And take care. Bye-bye.